Ladies and gentlemen, it is our honor to welcome to the stage for his induction into the Green Bay Packers Hall of Fame, Earl Dotson. Here we go.
On behalf of the Green Bay Packers Hall of Fame, Inc., the Green Bay Packers, and Packer fans everywhere, we present you the bronze football in recognition of your outstanding achievements as a Green Bay Packer and your well-deserved induction into the Packer Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Sorry it took a while to get up here. Hey, to my family, we've been through it. We've been through it. Me and my sister, we lost our parents. I lost my son. She lost her son. We went through it. But guess what, though? We still here. What made me the player I am today is my family. We've been, but you'll never see us break. I always took that approach to football. I always loved football. It's one of those things where as soon as I woke up in the morning as a kid, I was on the sand lot. I played more games as a kid in that sand lot with no pads on than I did in the NFL. My mom, scared to death of me playing football, wouldn't let me. The wire was a block down the street. Wasn't happening. My dad was a different character, though. He snuck me clear across town to play football. My mom didn't find out until one day I got the wind knocked out of me. And I came home crying. And that's what she found out. My mom, she wouldn't even come to my football games. She would meet me before a game, before warm-ups. She'll park on the outside of the fence, and this is high school. And me and her would sit in our car and we'll talk before she had to go to work the night shift at the hospital. She did bring me a, brown bag special. I don't know if y'all remember what that was. 2 burgers, 2 fries, 2 drinks, Hey, a little fuel right there, So, my mom was my heart. She was my heart. My grandparents, anytime I got in a bind, and my mom went to them, they always had my back. Never said a word about it, just always did for me. The times I got in trouble, never gave up on me. I have 2 of the 3 offensive lineman coaches I played for. And I mention this because I know damn well I wouldn't be standing up here right now if it wasn't for Tom Lovat, Coach Apsher, and Juan Castile. No way. Coach Hampshire was the first coach to tell me that you could make it to the NFL. I was in the 10th grade. And he told me, if you work as hard as you play and keep it up, you'll make it. I'm in the 10th grade. You know, most of the time, people would think that's just talk. Well, I came from a school that put out some players. We put out players. So I took his advice. I went for it. Every play full speed. That's how you play this game. I'm not out there to make friends. I don't care if you talk to me after. I don't care if you talk to me before. It don't matter. The only people that matter was the people in that locker room. That's it. Mike Holmgren, he brought up the barely talk to him. Hey, I just try to stay out the way. You know, hey, he talk about my looks. You ought to see his looks. You know, you'll see his looks. They intimidating. Coach Lovat, though, I remember when he came work me out before the draft. You know, I had teams coming almost every week. Dallas came multiple times. And the reason why is because I played at a small school. Like Rob said. So their whole philosophy, their whole thought process was this. You know, the career I had in college was because of the competition. I was Offensive Lineman of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year. I ain't give up a sack, had no holding penalties, and recorded a game with 15 pancakes. But hey, they still had questions. Walks in Tom Lovat. We go out to the field, and hey, the walk to the field, he probably said about 10 words to me. We get to the field, he said, hey man, let me see you getting your stance. He said, pull right. And I pull right. He came back, he adjusted my stance. He said, let me see you pull left. We did that. He said, let me see your pass set. We did that. He said, that's enough, let's go inside. I'm like, hold up now. You know, most coaches, when they come in, I was out there for an hour to 2 hours. We go inside and we talk football. And like I said, I was like, man, this guy, he can't like me. We was on the outside for a while, and then he leaves. I said, oh yeah, he don't like me, you know. So I pretty much put Green Bay out of my mind. And I ain't gonna lie to you. The fact that teams came multiple times and they was questioning my talent made me question my talent. It really did. And you know, it's a shame that goes down like that. They had me to the point I don't believe I was the player that I was. But this man here understood it. But it's crazy. It took me 25 years. It was 2 years ago. I talked to him and Frankie. Went sat down, had a drink at the bar. And as I was leaving, he was walking to his car in the parking lot. I said, you know what? It's either now or never. I pulled up to him. I said, hey, coach, I just got to ask you one question. Why did you draft me? And he gave something that to this day probably was some of them, I almost cried when I drove away. He told me this, as simple as this. He said, because even before I got there, I knew the player I was getting. And that means the world to me, Coach. Because like I said, hey, I know you done stood on the table for me quite a bit. You know, I don't know if you know this, I was almost out of here. back up, going into Philly. I ain't worrying about a thing. I'm gonna kick off return and field goal. That's all I'm worrying about, you know? That's my job. First, offensive tackle go down. I'm like, oh God, here we go. This is a Sunday night game in Philly. My offensive line coach from college is the offensive line coach at Philly. One of my best friends and my roommate, who Jermaine, once again, thank you for coming, man. I love you, bro. You are, hey, Jermaine, you are a special kind of person. And I mean that. I'm not just talking about football, man. I watch you. You done grew up to be a hell of a person. But he was on the sideline too. And William Fuller commenced to kicking my butt. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, he beat my butt all night. To the point to where I just knew I was out of there. But Tom Levi stood up for me. But that was the turning point in my career. I realized you can't just show up and expect to be great. You gotta work at it. I remember circling Philly on the schedule for the next year, and I went to work on doing what I had to do to be the player I wanted to be. And yeah, man, I'm gonna keep it short on that story. I got my revenge. I really did. Hey, I look at some tape now. I'm on the back side of the screen, and I'm down there with Dorsey. You know, I ain't never ran that far, that fast for a reason I really didn't have to do it. I ain't hit nobody but the ground. That's it. You know. Hey, but I was in the picture though. That's all that matters. You know. I remember being a rookie. It was me, Big Paul Hutchinson. That if it wasn't for his injury, he'd be sitting here right now. Hell of a player. But we was the fat man crew. What that mean is, after practice, it ain't no going home. It's the working out, trying to lose that weight that you need to lose before that weigh-in came. I remember sitting in my locker, and I see this. I'm like, man, that's a big shadow walking through that door right there. Gilbert Brown. We had just got him for, hey, trust me, you know, you used to seeing him. The first time you see him walk in the room, it's a whole different story. You know, he had traps up to here. I'm like, God damn, he gonna be a problem. You know, he gonna be and guess what? He really was a problem. So Gilbert, I tell you this all the time, man. Hey, cause me and him, we stayed next door to each other for the longest in the same apartments, next door to each other. Hey, that's my guy. And you are a force of nature. Hey, but I love you, man. I love you, bro. You know, hey, Rob, hold up. You finna be last because you did some dry stitching on me while we was in here, okay? So, hey, I want you to sit there and wait for it. That's what I want you to do. Okay. Frankie. Man, me and Frankie lived next door to each other probably our whole career. And I didn't find out about that until my last year here. 10 years later, I ended up opening the door. He opened his door, and we standing next door to each other. We could touch shoulders. He been there that whole time. You know. But I was quiet. Like I said, I kind of kept to myself, you know. And it wasn't because I don't want to talk to anybody. It's just a fact that's who I was. You know, I've never been a rah-rah person. You know, it's just about business. You know, to all my friends from A&I that made the trip down here, that man, we scraped up money to buy a box of chicken with, those guys. Hey, thank y'all for coming. You know, Michael Robinson, John Stevens, Jonell Doggins, and my eyesight ain't that good, so whoever else back there. just know I love you. My Green Bay Packers teammates, I talked about Gilbert, but guess what? They got a really tough guy in here that if you just look at him, he just pretty light skinned, one of those cats, Antonio Freeman. I always say this, hey, Antonio, you one of the toughest receivers I ever seen. This guy played with a broken forearm and a broken jaw. So how you expect me to sit on the bench because I'm whining about a knee injury or something? Nah. Hey, Antonio, love you, bro. Santana, I don't think Santana was able to make it because, he gonna be here one day. He gonna be right here one day. Santana, hey, I feel when we got him in here, he was the missing piece. Hey, I ain't too mad. He took my spot as Gilbert Brown's best friend. But, sometimes you gotta upgrade, huh, Gilbert? You thought you a new Dotson to hang out with, huh, Gilbert? But that's all right, bro. I still love you. I still love you. Hey, Brett Favre. I almost shed a tear right there to see him. Because I never played with anybody like that man now. Tough, funny, friendly. Yeah, he treated you like a brother. And when you was in a huddle, we could be down 21-0. And he done threw 2 interceptions, which we went in the game knowing he was going to throw at least 2 interceptions. Like, let's be real. Like, Tom Lovat used to have us do drills to cut off the angles for interceptions. So we knew it was coming. But guess what? It doesn't matter, though. Because, hey, he'll throw those 2, we probably throw 4 or 5 touchdowns. And after throwing those interceptions, he's in a huddle laughing about it. But that made you understand that when you have a leader like that don't take himself as serious, and he know he can make mistakes and still laugh at it, it makes you a better player. It gives you faith that, hey, this guy here, he could take us all away. You mess up, come on. He can sit there and say, I protected them all the time. That ain't always happened. He either took some hits from the left side, But the thing is, he was never it was always, let's get him next time. Let's get him next time. And I appreciate him for that. George Kuntz, cousin. Him, Leroy Butler, and a man I probably respect the most, the late, great Reggie White. I remember coming into the locker room. I think Kuntz was the first one I ran into, welcomed me with open arms. But as we went, I remember Kuntz coming to me and say, hey, man, you could be a hell of a player. That meant a lot. And then Leroy came to me and said, you could be a hell of a player. That meant a lot. But then when number 92, come on now. Come on. I watched this guy play. I watched this guy destroy people. And for him to tell you that, because first of all, when I went out to the first padded practice and he was on the other line, I almost quit. Hey, bro, I could be a truck driver. They got other things I could do instead of getting beat down by Reggie White every day. But he pulled me to the side and he told me, he said, hey, man, I'm going to work with you. I'll tell you what mistakes you're making. Hey, and you could be great. And he did that. It's a many times he could have kicked my butt. He took it easy. It's one golden rule I follow when dealing with Reggie. I ain't cursing. I don't care if I break my ankle. Ain't a curse word coming out my mouth around that man. You know. Who else? You know my memory's bad. Oh, that's funny to you, huh? Okay. I never heard nobody laugh at somebody disabilities, but okay. My cousin. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Recently Landry. Hey, I love you, man. To be real, that's really my brother. His mother helped raise me, and when I lost my mother, she stepped in and was there. Nanny, I love you. I really love you. You know. Hey, I love you more than your real son, you know that, right? I'm gonna just put that out in the universe, booby. I love your mom more than you do. Okay. Whatever. So, one of my best friends that I met when I moved to Corpus Christi, which was weird because I was on a blind date with another girl, and she brought her friend because I guess it was stranger danger or something like that. So, but this young lady never introduced me to her. She was on the other end, one end of the bar, I was on the other end. So the girl kept on going to talk to me, then said disappear. Talk to me, then disappear. Well, after a while, they said, you want to go to, let's just say another bar. We'll call it that. So I'm following them. We get there, have a good time. Me and her leave. She done took down my license plate. I'm like, okay. Well, fast forward probably, 35 years later, my mom is at the house before she passed. And I'm in the kitchen, I don't know what I'm doing. And I hear her telling the story. I'm listening, I'm like, hold up. You know, she telling my mom that I saw them at a bar and I followed them to another bar. I'm like, hold up. So this whole time you thought I was a stalker. So you done told my mom I was a stalker. But ever since then, right now, today, if it wasn't for her, all this here, all y'all here, wouldn't be here. Because I was so frustrated with this ticket situation, I was about to give up. You know, thank you, love. Hey, I love you. And Dennis, this is her handsome husband. You know, I call him my husband also, because when I need stuff done around the house, that's the man. Hey, thanks for putting up with me, man. You know, no, for real, thanks for putting up with me. I know it's many a times where, you know, she got to kind of split time between me and you. Not that way, y'all can get that out y'all head. No, hey, when I say she's a real one, I think she done took me to the emergency room 2 or 3 times. When my son passed away, she lives on one end of the street, her mom lives on the other end. When my son passed away, I don't even understand how I did this. After the cops told me, I was able to dial her number, I ain't said a word. 5 minutes later, her and her mom standing in my living room in their pajamas. That's a real friend right there. Because my family lives 7 hours away. I wouldn't know what I would have did after having your world crushed without people around you to tell you it's gonna be okay. So I love you too, I really do. To my best friend from high school, Tyre. Hey, girl. Over the top didn't have a meaning until they met you. She planned this whole party yesterday, Texas Takeover, gift bags, glitter, bubbles, all this. and got mad when I said I don't want all that. Love you. I'm gonna wrap this thing up real quick, so we're gonna move along because you don't have to clap yet. I ain't leaving yet. I'm just saying we're gonna move along quicker, you know. My niece, my twin. I love you, Belly. I love you. Okay, cousin, I see you over there too. You know, don't be shy. I love you, Kenzie. My other sister, Maxine. Thank you for coming. I love you. My brother-in-law, wait for it, Earl. We got the same birthday. Yeah, I was that awesome. My sister tried to get another one. So, love you, man. Miss Slaughter, this is my sister. We both lost our kids this same year. She lost hers first. Crazy thing, we met in Vegas at the Meekum bike auction. We were sitting down next to each other, dropped my phone, we got to talking. Come to find out, we all knew the same people at Sturgis. We all stayed at the same campground in Sturgis. And ever since then, we've been sister and brother. She called me one day, she said, hey brother, I'm coming down. I need you to help me look for houses because we're gonna buy a vacation home next to you. That's how close we are. That's the kind of people they are. Her heart is one of the biggest hearts I've ever seen. Now, I know Jess, her husband, I know sometimes he wants you to slow down on the donations and auctions and all that, but hey, I love you. Darcette, I ain't forgot you, man. I know you over there, making hand signals, but hey, love you, man. Love you. You done grown to be a great friend, man. Scott Dodge, you thought I forgot about you. My financial advisor. You got to keep a close relationship with him. I've been knowing Scott since college. And hey, man, even though sometimes I look at the phone and refuse to answer the phone, because I know where that conversation going. Thank you for keeping me where I'm at now. If I don't know what I would have did if I didn't have you in my life, man. Like, not only did you keep me afloat and made me make the right decisions so I could support my family. And when I say family, I mean my sister, my mother when she took sick, my dad when he had his heart attack, everything his family went through, thank you. Janelle, I ain't forgot you, girl. My Candy Crush, new edition, walking home from school, you know the song, every day out. Yeah, you know that one. That's you, girl. Me and Janelle knew each other since we was 5 years old. Pigtails, same homeroom. And I was lucky enough to marry that woman. She is a wonderful person. Sometimes things just don't work out. And that was on me. We talked about it. It was on me. But we have a hell of a son, Austin. I have my daughter, Ashley. And me and Janelle are still close. She stays with me when she comes to town, stays in my house when I'm not in town. Because we always, listen to this, Ashley and Austin, we always wanted you two to know that y'all was born out of love. And we will always love you. They made me a pawpaw. Hey, and we're about to have another one next month. got a little girl, and I'm over the moon. I get to do this all over again, and hopefully I get it right this time. So thank you for doing that. And to wrap this up, this is why this meant so much to me. There's no money in it. What it was is this: legacy. Because like I said, the first time we put our hands in the dirt to play this game, we played it because we loved it. I played this game my whole 10 years loving this game. Don't get me wrong, there's some practices. Hey, I had to doubt if I was still able to do this because of the injuries. But my teammates, walking away from them, letting them down, was not an option. This man right here, walking away from him, letting him down, was not an option. Ron Wolf, man, thank you too. Thank you, because you took a chance on a Texas A&I NEIA school and brought them to the place to, well, I think we all could say this: God's country. God brought me here. He kept me in a small town. He knew where I belonged. He knew who I belonged around. And it's everybody in this room. It's the Green Bay fan base that kept me on the straight and narrow. It's the Green Bay fan base that made me want to play on a herniated disc for a whole year. It's the Green Bay fan base that when it was time to retire, when I should have retired, I wanted one more year here. Thank y'all for having me. Thank y'all for making me one of y'all sons. Hey, and thank y'all for this. Hold up, Tremont. Hey, I forgot you, man. Hey, the only problem was I got so dizzy looking at all the ice, I don't know what to say. So it took me a little while. Hey, man, your story should be a movie. For real. You done defied the odds. Man, I was looking at your highlight here. I was pissed off at whoever put this program together. Why I gotta go after him? Like, I don't think I saw a receiver catch a ball. I'll even come close to it, man. Hey, you're amazing, man. I love your dedication to your family. Like I said, y'all showed up as a unit. We had a meeting after that. Like, we gotta represent better. Like, I don't feel like we was merging too good right there. Y'all did. And then that jacket, man, I was waiting for you to put it on the back of a table. I was gonna take that. But hey, hell of a guy. You deserve it. You deserve more than this, bro. You deserve a movie. I mean that. You really did touch me. Hey, thank you, man. Hey, y'all have a nice day. Thank y'all. What? Oh, hold up. I forgot about somebody, Rob Davis. And now, hey, for real though, real quick, Rob Davis, I remember when he came in. We was playing Kansas, up in Kansas. And I got on the bus, and Rob was sitting in the seat. I sat down next to him, well, behind him, and we got to talking. I mean, you can see him, cool, debonair, you know. He one of those brothers that when he even drop knowledge on you. And you're gonna think about it, but it's gonna make sense sooner or later, you know. For real, now, hey, Rob, you free? Hey, man, y'all kept me going. Man. Hey, like you said, those late night conversations about nothing, just being around you guys. Y'all made me a better person. You know, I know you don't talk about it that much, Rob, but your backstory, you made it, bro. You can't. And when they say you came from the dirt, you came from the dirt, man. And I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean, you know, Yeah, you know, I'll let you talk about what went on with you, your mom, and everybody. But man, hey, you made DC proud. You made Shippensburg proud. You probably was the only one ever drafted out of there, but that's all good, you know. But hey, thank you for being my friend. Thank you for getting me through some hard times. You know, thanks for the laughs, man. Thanks for the laughs. Thanks for the drive, like you said, to Milwaukee, which I was not doing 100, so don't believe him. And nah, we would just ride and talk, man. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. So I'm gonna get up out of here because, you know, I'm gonna talk more right now than I did in 10 years. So let's do that.